Yeah, okay, mate. So let's look here. INJ, you have a bag, but yeah, it's not performing great. Like 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 many coins, really, to be honest. You know, it's it's a tricky one. Most of the market has pulled back from March. Kind of similar to this. Um, it's still holding above the red 200 is kind of what you want to see. If this is going to come back up, it's exactly what you'd want to see so far. But let's look a little bit deeper into it. And there's the reason, and there's what's the problem for many things. Many things last year had this per candle, had this stop hunt yearly candle, right? So you could almost look at any altcoin and it probably has that. I'll click the first one I see. Oh well, ETH doesn't have it. Lina had a big red year. That's a new coin, no good. There's a bearish stop hunt there. Well, it's just a big huge wick. Here's another bearish stop hunt. So you can see I'm randomly clicking coins. There's another kind of bearish stop hunt. So Dusk, yeah, well, Bcash, AVX had one as well. It's moving up a little bit, but anyway, if we do flick through them, you do see lots of bearish yearly stop hunts. So that's the worry. I'll be honest with you. I kind of wanted us to drop down first at the start of this year and maybe stop hunt this year, because technically that is a bearish candle. Now we can negate that candle, of course. My preference was to come down and stop hunt down here. It makes me a little bit weary now that we are bouncing without taking liquidity or without taking those per lows down at the bottom. It kind of makes me skeptical and worried that this bounce is going to fail and we're later going to come back down. That's the worry when you have a bearish stop hunt like this. In theory, we only have one. Well, I shouldn't say we only have one shot at this, but the 4-year cycle. It's usually always in the 4th year that we can have some sort of alt season. Is this going to have an alt season? Is this going to negate this and push right through it? That's a big ask because of this bearish yearly candle. As we know, nothing's impossible in crypto. So we do need to keep an eye out. Now it's the same everywhere. This is not bad, right? The 6 month, we had bullish stop hunts on the 6 month, and we're seeing that continuation now. So that is the positive. That is what the market is trying to do. Many coins have this exact same sort of scenario. We got the big drop, the per yearly with a bearish yearly stop hunt, but we have this lifeline here that is trying to propel us back to the upside. You can see that we took liquidity here, and then this took liquidity below this main drop candle. So we are now stuck in a range. When you take liquidity above, the market loves to come and take liquidity below, and that's kind of what it's done here. So we are stuck in a trading range, and basically what happens there is wherever you break out of, you normally get a big move from, right? So I don't mean to say it's going to zero, but I'm just trying to say that when you get this trading range, it's important to watch where it looks like it wants to break from. If we look left on the chart, we can see that there was a bearish stop hunt here. Sorry, bearish 3 month stop hunt, a bearish 3 month stop hunt there. Well, the next candle took liquidity and started to fail and drop back down, and then we took liquidity again and dropped back down, and then we failed and rolled over. We're sitting at the very, very similar situation here, that we are in the middle of taking liquidity of this candle, of the red candle here. So we need to be watching to see if this is going to continue to be strong and power up through it, or are we going to reject like we did here, right? If we reject here, it opens the door to come back down later to take out those poor lows that we talked about on the yearly. And that is the concern about the situation we are in now, because these were very bad drops. Now, I don't want to scare you out of your position in case this does run. I'm just trying to say, I'm just trying to call it as it is and what we see. Like, this is decent enough. This is like holding above the moving averages. The moving averages are pointing up here. Above this white 100, you're considered bullish. Above the purple and red, you're considered bullish. As mentioned, it's just a shame that this is a bearish stop hunt, and what can happen is sometimes you can get the bounce that fails and comes back down because of this stop hunt, right? The hope is that it doesn't do that, of course, and somehow we power through it. I just thought I would show you the market cap as well. This looks okay, right? It's not near all-time highs yet, but you can notice now in a minute this is fairly high up if you see my straight lines. But we're pushing the all-time highs in the market cap when we're up here, but down here it's not too bad. It seems like it's got a bit of room. This is a higher low. As long as this $2 billion market cap level is intact, there's nothing wrong here. This can be a higher low. So that is a very important line in the sand there. But you can see that they are deploying coins onto the market because this is quite a bit away from the all-time highs, and the market cap is a little bit closer. But there is something interesting over here. It is trying to break up. I suppose you would have said the same here. See the way, it looked like it was trying to break up here, and then the next candle it just crashed back down. So this is technically a bearish candle as well. See this red candle here? Technically it's bearish. If this starts to fail into the end of the month, well, I don't want to get too bearish on it. And I know I'm sounding very bearish on this video. I don't really mean to, but we need a failed move. We need to either negate this monthly bearish candle, or we need to start to negate the bearish yearly candle. So I'm just trying to say that it's got a bit of work to do, and many coins have a bit of work to do, and that's part of the concern in the overall market. The drop in March was so severe that it's left lasting damage that we are still struggling to come back from. What I will say is that so far, if you look at AVAX, actually let me just so AVAX here, you can see that it has pushed up, and it is trying to create some sort of bullish monthly engulfing, and we're only 5 days in. So if we can finish really strong in the month and we can have more upside, well, it might be putting in a case that this is trying to finish very strong, and then we can get continuation to the upside. Pretend that's a green candle. If it finishes very strong up into this wick, and in the next month we can continue to push higher. It's not impossible, of course. So like here, look at this bearish monthly candle here that got completely negated and pushed through it. I suppose it needs another one of those that needs to continue to be strong. So it's good to watch the rest of this month and see how strong we finish. Also need to be aware that we don't want to be creating well, it's not the end of the world, but we ideally don't want to be creating bearish 2-week stop hunts. If this does start to fail and come back down, it's not out of the, see here, see the way you come down there, and then you can go higher. Then I know this one came right back down again and went higher, but it's okay to be filling 50% of this candle, is what I'm saying. It's not real damage to as long as that holds, right, and then moves off that level. but bearish 2-week stop ons here are not ideal, but if it does happen, it's okay to come down to 50% and then go higher again. That 50% level needs to hold. So anyway, mate, yeah, I think it's it's trying its best to successfully break up and to actually have that failed move. This needs to be a rounding base that continues up and eventually breaks up. The problem with this type of pattern is it is usually painful. It is usually until it gets back up here somewhere, then it can start moving again, but it's usually a painful process to get up there. I remember it back here, there was a thought that it could do it back here as well, here, but the distribution started. I just want to show you the sentiment tool and the RSI. So you can see back here, right, this was not really breaking the 50. It was just about, but it was teetering on the edge. Any downside was going to break below the 50 and then it dropped, okay? And into that, you can see the sentiment tool turned red right there as it started to drop right here, and that turning red and the RSI turning below the 50 caused the bear market, or put it into a bearish situation. The problem here, well, if you look back here as well, look here, this was extremely strong. This was extremely strong that led to a huge move. This so far is not very strong, right? And the sentiment tool is not very strong. So it's a concern, and it's not seeing that really powerful strength. Are we going to see that later, or is this a warning sign like it was a warning back here and here? Again, I don't want to scare you out of your position. I'm just pointing out the facts. We need to see some strength here that would lift the sentiment tool, would lift the RSI, would lift the price, and then it might be more ready to move up. But that's the problem with these patterns. They are painful, slow and choppy. It's hard to know exactly what way it's going to turn out. At the moment, this is pretty good. 6 month is strong. The yearly, of course, is moving up well. We need to see this continue. As long as this is green on the year here, there's nothing too major to be worried about. There's still a good chance that this could end up being very bullish. Same with this 3 month candle. As long as it's above that 3 month open, things are fine. As long as it's above this monthly open, things are fine. For now, I think that's your ultimate line in the sand. If that starts to break, there's a problem. Anyway, mate, I'll cut it off here. Sorry for the long video, but yeah, I hope it helps.